Good morning. Hi, it's Gary, and welcome to today's live stream. Just double checking, I did forget to unmute. I did remember to unmute the mic before I started talking. So how's everybody today? How are we all doing? Been a bit of a run-around week for me here. Hopefully it's been a little bit more calmer where you are. So, as always, we'll start with the weather report. So let me head on over to Safari. So currently here in Perth, or just south of Perth, it's 25 Celsius. That works out about 77 Fahrenheit. Our high is meant to be hitting 32. I should have woken up the keyboard earlier. Let me just put this in. 30, not 3QW, 32. So our high should be about 90 Fahrenheit. So it's going to be a lovely day for it today. But it's been about that temperature most of the week, so it's been really, really nice. I kept pressing the button and I was thinking, why hasn't it changed? But then I remembered I was looking at the wrong window. So let's head on over to the chat window. So coming in right at the top, Blonde Scales 1. Hello from Arkansas. Welcome to you. David, hello from Austin, where it's a wonderful sunny 71 Fahrenheit, 22 Celsius. Yeah, perfect weather that, isn't it? Perfect temperature. David, to Blonde Scales 1. How are the only ones here? Yeah, I think there was 5 people showing as being on at the time. Lady Beaver, hello everyone, and hello from Adelaide. Welcome to you. I was reading a thing earlier today about, South Australia, but Adelaide, saying that there's a lot more snakes than normal, which I thought, obviously it's quite interesting when you read that. And it's just coming into the hatchling season, so that's where the eggs that they've laid over the past few weeks, or a few weeks ago, should I say, they'll start to hatch out. So, yeah, welcome to you. Tom, hello from Northridge, California. Welcome, Tom. David saying there, hello to Lady Beaver. Ricardo, good morning all from London in the UK. Welcome to you, Ricardo. I think I saw a message. I haven't been into Discord yet this morning, but I think I saw a message from you come up in my notifications. So I don't normally go into Discord till at least lunchtime, but I will have a look at that later on. David G, I made it this week. Hello all, welcome to you. Other David, hello to Tom. And then we've got Blonde Scales 1. Our rain has moved out. Now we're waiting for the next cold wave to arrive. I know I keep saying this, I don't miss the cold. Andreas, good day from mild Brisbane, where it's currently 31 Celsius. Kaz, good evening from London in the UK. Welcome to you, Kaz. David, we've got a hello. John, greetings from the Big Apple. Welcome to you. Got people all over the place at the moment. We've got David to Andreas. Cheers. And John, greetings from snowy New York. So that's our second New York person today. And David G to the other David. It was a bit chilly this morning in Bandera. Blonde Scales 1, how are you feeling? Really good. So I had, for those that don't know, I had a cataract in my right eye removed on Friday. Caused great consternation for my wife because we had to be there for 6:30 in the morning, and it's about 45-ish minutes drive. And I'm trying to think how best to put this. She normally doesn't get up till like gone 9. So having to get up, we set the alarm for 4:30 in the morning, or should I say 4:30 in the middle of the night. Yeah, so there was great consternation from my wife, especially when, after I'd had the surgery, it went really well. They said, right, you've got to come back tomorrow morning, be here by 8 a.m. So that was another early start for her. So she was not happy about that either. But yeah, no, feeling really good. These are... my glasses that I had were varifocals, and I was struggling with them after the operation. So I've now got these. I went and bought some cheaper reading glasses just so I can see what's going on the screen. Really unfortunately, I couldn't watch what they were doing with the operation, which was a shame. I'd have loved to be able to watch what they were doing, but I'm just like Garry that way. The only thing I've really noticed, my vision's still a bit blurred, but they said that's because it's they're still swelling, so it'll take a week or two to calm down. But what I am noticing, and it's really weird, but when I'm looking at things that are predominantly white, what I'm seeing is they've got like a violet hue to it. Now that might, I don't know if that'll go away, but I just find, it's these little things that I find interesting. So I'm looking over at a white cupboard now, and it looks this pale violet colour. Ricardo, hello. It's been raining today, but it's now 3 Celsius here. That's over in lovely London. Tony, hello from Tenerife instead of Wiltshire. It's 20 Celsius here instead of the 6 at home. Oh, I bet you're noticing a difference there. Lady Beaver, currently 17 Celsius here at the moment. So that's down in Adelaide. Marcy Me, hello from Texas. Welcome to you. Tommy, asking everyone, please remember, hit that thumbs up button. Remember, every time you like, every time you comment, always helps with that YouTube algorithm. A lot of people don't realise this. The people that hit the thumbs down one, but that also helps boost the algorithm. It's weird, but any interaction increases the chance of the video being shown to other people. So it's just a bit weird. David, are you ready for the next cold front to the other David? Ron, cue the jolly clarinet, I'm thinking that'll be. Yeah, that's being on and done and dusted at the moment. Sorry. Ron, wintry mitts in Forest Hills. That's over in Sydney, is it? No, that was Barton Hills I used to deal with. Blonde Scales 1. Someone showed a new pen in Discord. Yeah, I think that was Ricardo, but as I've not been in yet. David, celebrating a Mont Blanc F. Scott Fitzgerald Writers Series fountain pen from 2002. It's a great price. Been wanting one for a while. It's a beautiful and a great writer. I bet it is. If you got access to the Discord, please feel free to go add some photos in there. I need to start using that Discord more myself, but I will try. David to David G. It seems like it's always cooler in the winter and hotter in the summer out that way. Ricardo, yeah, I put a photo on the Discord server. It's a Platinum President in broad. Not new, but as new condition. Awesome. I think that's the best way to get them sometimes, isn't it? Where they're not new, but they've been gently loved. Shaq MD, hey y'all. Welcome to you, Shaq MD. Thanks for joining in. Andreas, glad to hear it went well, Garry. Edward Wiper, hi Garry from West Yorkshire, UK. Edward, I'm going to ask a question here, and I know I'm picking on a person. I received a Facebook friend invite in your name. I just want to check, is it you or not? So I said, just asking. Shaq MD, minus 29 in North Dakota, USA. Wow, I don't think I'd even survive in that temperature now. God, I hope that you don't have any issues with things like heating or something like that in this weather. That would be dangerous. Wow, minus 29. Blonde Scales 1, yeah, definitely, bro. Oh, I'm shuddering just to think of it. Tony, I still haven't managed to access the Discord server. I tried the link again, but it didn't work. Let me just get into notes, and then I can post it up again here. Where is it? It's in here somewhere. Discord link. So this link, he says, copy and paste, should hopefully work. Ron, we got a message retracted. And there's me popping in that message. Let's just do the refresh. Okay. That's all the comments done. So today, somebody asked during the week about my Jinhao pens because the pen I've got the most of are Jinhaos. So I said I'd do a quick walkthrough. So I've got to pull my trays out. Not really going to, unless somebody puts a thing in the comments, I'm not going to talk about any specific pen really for any length of time. So I have these trays. These are A4 size, so that's about letter size US. Got them ages ago. They're document holders. So there's 20 of them. is it 20? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, I've got 20 of them. And what I've done is most of them are arranged by manufacturer or location for some of the other ones. So these are Jinhao. I got 3 of these trays with Jinhao pens. One of them's only got a few in. So let's quickly go through my Jinhao pens. Let's say shout out if there's any you want me to talk a bit in detail about. So first up, we've got, I think it's that one, is a Jinhao 88, and I've also got a Jinhao 51A. So these are the first two. Very inexpensive pens. I do like about Jinhao you can get some really inexpensive pens. So let's pop that back. Then we've got a Jinhao 85. There we go. A nice wooden barrel there. We've got a Jinhao X159 and also a Jinhao, no, that's not a 9019. So that must be the 159. And what's the other one? That's the X159. That's got the number 6 nib. See, I'm getting all confused. I think that's a Jinhao X350. It just got into the wrong slot. Jinhao 82s. Got another couple of these to look at later on in the year. We've got a Jinhao X850. I like the black of these because they're nice, easy to take anywhere. I've got a Jinhao 250. I don't know why. I always refer to it as an X250. And there's also a Jinhao 95. This is in beautiful green colour. Next up, we've got a couple of Jinhao X450s. There we go. And then we've got another X450, different pattern this time. And then a Jinhao 997. This one, I believe, is the stub nib. Yeah, we've got a stub nib on there. We've then got a Jinhao 80 in black and a Jinhao 80 in, well, I think they called it white, but to me it's cream. Jinhao X750. I've only got one of these. This is, I like the texture on this. This has got that textured black. And then I've got a Jinhao 9056. Very similar to a Conklin All-American. I am watching the comments just in case anybody says, "Oh, whoa, Gary, you're going too fast," or... There we go. Let's move that out of the way. Up next, we've got... I've got that many. I have got my labelled on here. Got a Jinhao 35. There we go. We've got four Jinhao 100s, plus I've got one inked up at the moment. I do like my Jinhao 100s. You may have noticed that on the video on Monday. We've got the Jinhao 159, got 2 of them. Got silver and a blue. We've got a Jinhao 200. I know I'm going very fast, but if I went through these talking about them, we'd be here for hours. Jinhao 500. We've got a rainbow there of Jinhao 992s. I think these all cost me about $1.70 or $2 each. That's Aussie dollars. Let's pop that away. That was another tray done. And then the final tray, I've actually got 2 in here, but there are 3 entries. I've got the Jinhao 9013 and 9019. Not here because it's inked up is the 9016. So that's a quick guide through my Jinhao pens. I do have some I've still got to review, so I've got at least one more 992 to review. I've got a shark, a Jinhao shark to review, and I think there was another couple. Okay, to head back to the comments. So Edward, yes, Garry, definitely me. Brilliant. Thanks, Edward. I will look into that later on when I go into FaceAid. Lady Beaver, yeah, the link says invalid on your channel details, but the link, okay, I will go through and update all of them. Could be because I only made that link permanent about 3 weeks ago. So chances are I've still got some old video descriptions that I did which have the old one on. I will get into that. Ron, Forest Hills is between the airports and New York City. Right, yeah, it was definitely Borkham Hill I was thinking of then. Because I know never been there, but I used to deal with people over there quite a lot. David to Ricardo, that's a beautiful pen. How does it write? Bronze Girls 1, someone likes Jinhao just a little. Yeah, I mean, the reason why I've got so many Jinhao pens, I've got to be honest, they're just so cheap. So you can get, loads of different pens and really try them out. And I really enjoy doing that. So yeah, loads and loads. I think the next most popular one I've got is Moonman. But I haven't really bought any Moonman pens for quite a while. Lady Beaver, love my Jinhao 82, as it's the same as Pro Gear, and love the nib on it, writes so smooth. Yeah, I love that Jinhao 82. The Jinhao 82 is very, very nice. It's a little bit small for me, but that's fine. I understood that when I was buying it. And yeah, being that, I think there is a video on my channel where I compared the Pro Gear Slim and the Jinhao 82 together. Today's mug, by the way, we've got the Mandalorian, and there we've got Groku on there. Ricardo, very smooth with a touch of feedback and a tiny bit of bounce. It's still a stiff nib, but less than the one on the 3776. It's got an 18 karat gold nib instead of the 14 karat on the 3776. John, welcome to you, John. Seeing an X159 with a Fude nib, pondering getting one as I don't own any such nib. That would be really interesting. Sorry. I've been writing with a Fude nib this week, one day this week. Really enjoyed it. The company I got it from, they just call it a bent nib rather than a Fude. And absolutely gorgeous. Have I got a writing sample I can show you? Which pen is it? It's not that one. It's not that one. It's not that one. No. Let me see if I've got access to it quickly. I can't remember which one it was. There we go. So this is, you won't have seen, and you won't actually see it on the channel, the first impressions video for quite a while. Let me go over to the iPhone. So the paper in here, this is my Star Wars planner. This is essentially what goes everywhere with me. So you can see some rough writing I've been doing and some things I've been working on. The pen here is called a Hondian Steel, and it's got this bent nib. He says trying to get into the camera. There we go, a bent nib. So this is a Hondian. Love the line variation on this. So it's a steel, and it's a 1.0 bent is how they call it. The ink is Colorverse. Whoops, I'll see if I get it on camera. Colorverse, and it's a Rover, which is like a shimmering ink. So yeah, we've got beautiful line variation. So this is with it up really high and going across. I know you couldn't really see. I'm going to go back to my normal writing angle here. So that's down and that's across. Then if I go really low, the down doesn't change much, but look at that cross line. So you can get some really interesting line variation there. Let me just pop that back out, fetch that one back in, and make a note as well, Discord link on YouTube. So yeah, I really like these bent nibs. I think they give you some really interesting results. Lady Beaver, I'd love to see a video series comparing Jinhao replicas to the real pens. Jinhao compare to real. Let's pop this one out of the way for a second. My pen today is a Pen BBS 308. There you go. Sorry. Where's that mouse gone? We've got here, John, anyone tried the Jinhao 10 clicker? I haven't. That's the one which is a bit like the Pilot Vanishing Point, is it? The only one I ever tried was the Moonman version, which is the Moonman A1. I was very disappointed with that. Andreas, hey, talking about snakes, has anyone seen the Narwhal Nautilus Pen of the Year in person? I'm kind of interested, but can't find it in Aussie stores to try it. Not seen it in person. There was a company which was doing narwhal paper, not narwhal paper, Ayush paper in Australia, and they also were dealers for narwhal. I think they were actually based in Brisbane. I can't remember the name of the company off the top of my head. What was it called? No, sorry, I just can't remember the name of the company. But there was a company, I think it was just online though, which were doing narwhal pens. John, do you have a Jinhao favourite? Yeah, got to be the 100. Really like the 100 series. So I've got like the Jinhao ones. I've got the Kaigaloo 316 and 316A, which are very similar. There's a Hongdian, can't remember the model, which is very similar in shape, slightly different, but very, very similar. I want to get eventually a Parker Centennial. I keep looking at them, but what I want to do with those, I actually want to try and get a like an older one rather than getting something that's new. So what I need to do is keep looking for that. There aren't many antique shops around here, but I do keep looking. I'm loath to buy something like that over the internet, though. David just posted a couple of pics of my new F. Scott Fitzgerald in the Discord server. Awesome, thanks for that. I shall be having a look at those later on. Ron, I've got the Jinhao 95 in green too. Bit cheaper than the green Lamy 2000. I bet it was. Lady Beaver, nice. The Shark was one of the first pens I used as they were so cheap and adorable. Yeah, I'd been putting them off buying one. And it was one of the ones my wife bought me as part of the My Inky Countdown. Same with that Hondian one I've just shown. That was part of that. But it's what I'm trying to do with all these is spread them out over the year. So I think with all the pens she bought me, I've got enough to last me till about June or July time. With doing one and occasionally two a month. Tony now managed to get into the Discord, thanks. David, by the way, the F. Scott Fitzgerald marks my 30th Mont Blanc. Do I need to seek counselling of some kind? No, I don't think so. I mean, that's a nice collection. I remember watching a few weeks or months ago. What's his name? Oh, the guy in Canada. I know that doesn't count. Cut it down. The guy in Canada who is a university lecturer. I can see him. Oh, anyway, he did a video about collections versus accumulations. So like what I have, it's an accumulation because there's no real theme. But I would say with that 30th Mont Blanc, I would say you're definitely a Mont Blanc collector. Blonde Scales 1. My Preppies are the most numerous pens I have. Yeah, I do actually have 4 Preppies. I've got 2 with the normal nibs, and I've got 2 with the like felt tip pens or felt tip type nibs, but very rarely use them. Tony, I flew with my Jinhao X159 this week. No leaks, burps, or issues. Awesome. That's always good to hear. David, to Tony. Hey, Tony. Sorry that I have not gotten back to you on Facebook lately, but teaching has been swamped the past few weeks. How are you doing? Do you know, I've got to give you props for being a teacher. That's not something I could ever do. Lady Beaver, might have to move the page a little. Yeah, hopefully you could see it. This is a problem because I've got screens all over and the camera's over here for the overhead, but the screen's over here, so I'm having to go like that to try and get between the two. Yeah, now we can see. Thank you. Lady Beaver, wow, I want to try that out. Yeah, I'd say it was one that my wife got. I filmed the first impressions on, it was either Monday or Wednesday. I can't remember which one. Steve, I got into the Discord server today with the link you posted. Awesome. I'll say I'll head on over there later on today. Kaz, a bent nib makes excellent dip nibs, and for swatching, so only the nib to clean. That's actually quite a good idea. I've got something new to try with swatching. Have I got it here? I saw on, I think it was Marcy Me. It could have been Therese Harris, but I think it was Marcy Me. Had these. These are actually cocktail stirrers, and they've got like a flat end. So I went onto AliExpress, and well, either AliExpress or Temu, and got these. They were dirt cheap. It was a pack of 5, so I've got plenty of them. This means I can now swatch up to 5 inks without having to worry about going and cleaning stuff. That goes on there. John, I love my A1. Also, it takes pilot cartridges, so I have a Yamabudo cartridge in it. An astonishingly smooth writer, especially with the lovely ink. Yeah, the A1 I've got, really nice, writes really, really well. But the downside with it is I've used it once and the door at the bottom won't close no matter what I do. So I think there's a bit of a quality control there. And to be honest, that put me off. Ricardo, about the number 8 nib on the Jinhao. It doesn't have a filling hole. It fills from the breather hole on the nib. Same as the sailors with gold nibs. Awesome, thanks for that. I didn't realise that. I was submerged right the way down now to the so the top of the body's just touching the ink. David, Stephen Brown. Yeah, Stephen Brown, that's it. I should remember names, but I've got a brain like a sieve. Blonde Scales 1, you have a theme, fountain pens. Yeah, definitely a theme there. And Blonde Scales 1, sorry, David to Blonde Scales 1, lol, works for me. Marcy Me, yes, cocktail swirl sticks. Yeah, it was Marcy Me. I thought it was, but I watched quite a few videos, and sometimes I say my old man brain gets a bit mixed up. Okay, let's go for the pen of the week, and hopefully the music should be a little bit less loud. So here we are back over with that overhead camera. So pens for the week. I'm going to move this camera. It's a little bit too low. That's a little bit better. So pens for the week ending the 15th of February. This has now been tossed right on the back. I've got my desk fan on, so I've got my letter opener there just holding it down. So the first pen of the week I won't be doing any writing with because it's empty. This is the Just Turn-Ins Enceladus in Jonathan Brooks, and it's Alien Execution. Absolutely lovely, stunning pen. Really love this. Cartridge converter. There we go. So I've already cleaned it out. And this has got a double broad nib on it. It's a beautiful, juicy writer, which is why it ran out a lot quicker than I was expecting. So when that ran out, I thought, what should we fetch in? And I brought in the Faber-Castell Hexo. Really nice pen. I think when you compare this to the Lamy Safari, it's a bit cheaper than the Safari, and I think it writes so much nicer. Got a broad nib on here, and this is a cartridge converter. So I've got here I love the way this sounds when I write. It like whispers and sings on the page. I'm going to move the mic, see if you can actually hear it. I really hope that came over on the mic. I love the sound of this. It's really relaxing to actually listen to. and 46 Aussie dollars. That just turnings one is about 205 Aussie dollars. We'll move there now onto my weekly pens. So my weekly pens. First one. This is from Pilot, and this was the Pilot Custom 823. Very little ink left in here. Not sure if that's coming over on the camera. So this will be going in the clean out pot when I finish today. Got that 14 karat gold nib there. So we've got a Pilot Custom 823 with a broad 14 karat gold nib. Price wise, you're looking at approximately 560 Aussie dollars. The ink, it's by Colourverse, and it's Sailing Stones. Really been enjoying this ink. There's some nice shading coming through. This paper is a Midori MD cotton pad, and it's a slightly, what's the word, ivory type colour. But yeah, that's nice, but that does to be cleaned out. The next pen is another one which is going to be cleaned out. This is the final Jinhao 100 that I mentioned. Here we go. This is the skeleton one. This was a gift from a viewer. Very much appreciated. And people have sent me a number of pens. Really, really appreciate it so much. So here we've got that Jinhao 100. There's next to no ink in here, so I'm hoping it will write. Let's see, we got a little bit. Got a nice, it actually looks like a fairly sizable converter. And then on here, this is not the Jinhao nib. Now, I did get somebody from Monday's video when I had this on Monday's video. I deliberately did that on Mondays. I wanted to show that with, these cheaper pens, you're not stuck with the nib it comes with most of them. You can change it. So on here, I've got an italics, and it's a medium cursive italic nib. And I love writing with this. I just have to remember to orient the pen properly. So we've got here, as I said, it might be out of ink. Let me just prime the feed. Oops. So a little bit of ink bubbling there. Hopefully we may have something in here to write with. So let's try again. So Jinhao 100 with that medium cursive italic. I love this line variation. Price wise, you're looking approximately, he says, 27 Aussie dollars. But then you have to pay extra because obviously I've swapped the nib. Unfortunately, the guy that makes these is no longer making nibs. The ink is by Colourverse, and it's Kilo Nova. I can't remember who it was. Somebody had done a video. I think it was back in November. Well, not one person, a number of people, and I couldn't really see the name that was written on the bottle. So they were saying Killanova, and I thought it was Killanova as in K-I-L-L-E-R. So yeah, that's me, just a bit weird. Let me just move that up there, stop that blowing. Up next from Mahjong, in fact, no, that goes in the clean out pot. I've got some pens to clean today. So this is the Mahjong P139, and it's got Diamine All the Best in it. This is a piston filler, again, next to no ink in here, so hopefully it will write. Got a nice ink window, which I like. So here we've got a Fude nib. So again, somebody else asking about Fude nibs earlier on. This is a number 6 nib, and it's the Fude. So we've got a Mahjong P139. So again, we're getting that natural line variation coming through. And we've got a price here of about 77 Aussie dollars. I've already said that ink was Diamine. And it's all the best. Gorgeous pen. But into the clean out pot. I think that's the last of the ones going in the clean out pot for today. Next up, no, this one's going in the clean out pot as well. I think I might get enough. We've got a narwhal school kill. Here we go. This is in the chromist teal. Another piston pen, another one with a nice ink window. You will see me writing with this tomorrow because with everything going on with my eye, I actually did most of my daily videos last week. So that's scheduled to go out tomorrow morning. So you may see this tomorrow, but I think this is going to go in the clean out pot. On here, I've got the narwhal nib. So we've got here, making sure, I'm just trying to keep an eye on my camera. So that's not done all right. Let me prime the feed again. Can we get anything? No, that doesn't want to write. So the school kill there, the ink that I had in here was Colourverse Aquarius Whispers. I really like the look of it, the ink. And this is about 102 Aussie dollars. Up next is another pen that was a gift from a viewer. I'd say very much appreciated, really are. This is an Opus 88 Omar. And this is the green version. Look at that. Absolutely stunning to look at. Love this material. I love the feel of this pen. And it's got a gorgeous, like a convex shape there. So it's bowing out and then coming back in. Really comfortable fit in the hand. Being an Opus 88 pen, this is a Japanese eyedropper. So to fill it, you would unscrew here, unscrew the section off, and then fill the body with the ink using an eyedropper. I use a blunt nose syringe. It's got a bar going down, so we do have a shut-off valve in here. I've got this left open, he says. I've got this left open. Obviously, I'm at home. We've got this gorgeous nib on here. This is such a smooth pen to write with. Excuse me while I just have a mouthful of tea. So we've got here a Opus 88 Omar. You hardly know you're writing with this. It's so smooth. It's not glassy. It's not icy. It's just invisible, virtually, is the best way I can put it. It's a broad nib. Price-wise, you're looking approximately 176 Aussie dollars. The ink is by Diamine. And it's Pine Needle. Now, this is a chameleon ink. When I get up close to it, I see the chameleon, but when I'm just normally writing, don't really see much chameleon. But as I say, if I fetch it really close to my face, usually with the aid of something to actually magnify it, then I can see some. Pardon me. Next up, we've got from TWSBI, we've got the TWSBI Draco. Love the colour of this. Again, it's a pen. I love the shape. I love the size. I love the fit. Sorry, I love the feel. Does have a couple of things I don't like. The first one is this ink window. So I'm going to try and hold this up close to the camera. So we've got a nice ink window there, nice size ink window. But that's not actually showing the ink. Inside, we've got actually the bottom of the piston barrel. So you can see that there. We've only got a little bit of it. So it's very narrow. So you don't actually have that much where you can tell what the ink level is, which is a shame because sometimes I find it's a struggle. Although I'm hoping now that I've got better eyes, I'll be able to see that better because at the moment I actually can. The other quibble I've got with it is this nib. Love the colour. You know, it's like a rose gold colour. It is a steel nib. To me, the nib is just too small for the pen. It looks out of proportion. But it writes nice. So at the end of the day, it's how it writes which is important. So we've got here a TWSBI Draco with a broad nib. Price for this, although you can't really buy them brand new now, was 215 Aussie dollars. I'm guessing if you wanted one of these, you'd have to go on the second-hand market. The ink is by Diamine, and it's Forest Gatto. The ink is scented, and to me, it's got like a cherry smell to it. I do love the look of this, though. My final pen. my new baby, the Pelican M1000 in Renaissance Brown. Stunner. Absolutely gorgeous to write with. My most expensive pen. I gave this to my wife after I'd recorded the first impressions because I like her, she tries out all the pens as well. And she said, I don't like it. I thought, the amount of money this costs and you dare say you don't like it? I was a little bit gobsmacked. But anyway, the Pelican M1000 there, Renaissance Brown. Piston filling pen. No ink window as such, but as I think it was Miss Marilyn Darling pointed out, the body is transparent. So if I hold it up to a light, I can see the ink level. So that solved one of my main concerns about that. Just look at the nib though. This is massive. And this is 18 karat gold. This nib is so soft, it's unbelievable. No, sorry, I don't want you to go and find something on the internet for me. Absolutely stunning. Comfortable, so comfortable in the hand. But I've got larger hands. So we've got here a Pelican M1000. This does not feel like I'm writing with a pen. It feels like I'm writing with a brush. And it's got a broad 18 karat gold nib. The price. To buy these, full price, normal price is $1,350. It was on offer, so I think it was 11% off, so it was just under $1,200 when I bought it. But if you were to go out and buy them now, that's how much. Absolutely ridiculous price, he says, having spent that sort of money. The ink is by Diamine, and it's Weeping Willow. So I do have a couple of issues with that hard starting. I still think half of that problem is me. Do get some nice line variation though here. So here's no pressure, he says when he can get to write. I'm going to add a bit of pressure. And we do get some quite wide lines coming out of that. Not that I would push it, it feels so soft. So that's that Pelican M1000. And they're the pens I've been using this week. So hopefully the music didn't deafen people this week like it did last. So let's jump on over back to the comments. So I got David to Marcy me. Hey Marcy, how are things up north? Lady Beaver may have just purchased this second a bent nib Hondian Rainbow Forest pen. Oh, awesome. I hope you enjoy it when it arrives. Tony Bins. I now have quite a few nibs and sections in Fude, Architect, Ultraflex from various manufacturers. I like the dip pen idea. When I get home, I'll make one in the workshop. That's an awesome idea. So Tony does makes wooden pen, like wooden pens. He sent me a photo of a few of them. Oh, they're stunners. John, yep, too true about Jinhao quality control. Lady Beaver, what a beautiful sound. So awesome. I'm glad that came through. It's just beautiful to write with that. I love the sound coming off that Hetso. David, got in a new pen finished. The earlier ones looked great. Earlier ones. Mr. Inky Fingers, welcome to you. I've got 3 Hetsos with different nib sizes. Such a great pen. It is. I was absolutely stunned by it. I've only had it a few months, but very quickly getting to love it. Tony, I don't make that many pens as I can't find a basic kettle that I like for myself. That means that I have quite a few on the shelf. That's all right. On the shelf, use them every so often. That's what I've got 195 pens. So yeah, I struggle sometimes getting through them. David, I want an 823 with a signature nib, but it's cost prohibitive right now. Yeah, they're not cheap. I say all the prices I quote, they're Aussie dollars, but a lot of the sites I get them from aren't Australian. So obviously got to take into account that there's currency changes and fluctuations. So the prices can change quite a lot. David, to Tony, well, keep at it. You are good. Oh, Tony, not kettle. I was trying to work out what the kettle was for. Auto incorrect strikes again. David, I got the idea. Miss Marilyn Darling, hi Gary, hi everyone. Welcome to you, Miss Marilyn Darling. Let's go down. We've got Blonde Scales 1 saying hi. We've got David saying hi back. Atomic Elf 1, oops, late to the party. Hello, everyone. Welcome to you, Atomic Elf 1. Marilyn hi's back to David and Blonde Scales 1. John, I love my P139, one of my favourite Chinese pens. Yeah, it's really, really nice. I have written down the details and even a link and sent it to my wife saying this would be a nice pen for the next Inky or the next Invent or Inky Countdown, especially if you were to buy it with orange and a number 8 nib. So she's got that there. Hopefully that might appear then later at the back end of the year. So we've got another couple of hellos, one from Tony and then another one back, and then Ricardo. And then Tony, that ink window looks better than the Lamy 2000. Oh, the Lamy 2000's ink window is a joke, isn't it? It's just about usable, but I really struggle with it, especially because I use dark inks. So the dark inks seem to struggle even more. Blonde Scales 1, that price still hurts. Absolutely, it does, even when it was on offer, I'll tell you. Andreas, Garry, how much text are you getting out of a single fill? So I'm assuming that's on the Pelican. So I'm still on the first fill. During the week, I've written 5 pages with it, 5 days, 5 pages. It is very, very juicy. This is on that not Cosmo Airline, that Irrefill paper that I showed earlier. So there I was just doing some silly test right now. I was bored. When I'm bored, I come into here and I just jot down anything. And a sad life I lead. Tony, I didn't know that the Renaissance M1000 is translucent. My M800 is new styles, so solid. Yeah, neither did I. I think it was Miss Marilyn Darling that mentioned it. And then I did try it out, and definitely, yes, it's hard to actually see it now because I've got so many lights on. But in normal daylight, when I put it up to a lamp, I can see the ink flowing inside. Andreas, with the M1000, I tried it as an EDC, but was filling it up every week or so. Yeah, because I use them really just one day a week. I normally get 2 weeks out of the broader nibs. The medium nibs, I can get normally 3 weeks, and like fine and extra fine, they normally last me a full month. But it just varies with what I'm doing. Sometimes I'm not doing a lot, but sometimes I write loads and loads and loads. Just depends, to be honest, if I'm bored and what's going on. Marilyn, how was your surgery, Garry? Did you live? Yeah. After the surgery, I sent a message to my son and said, "Sorry, Lucas, I survived," which he then went and showed to all his workmates because he keeps saying he likes to know which are the expensive pens so that he gets his inheritance. Yeah, it went really well, thank you. It was really funny. I mean, you spend longer getting prepped for it than you do actually being done. It was done in about 20 minutes. Had no issues with it. Had no pain. So I had to check up. You have to go back the next day and have a checkup on it. So that's fine. My distance vision now is superb. Even with the blurriness of my eyeball being still swollen a little bit, I can still see really, really well. Reading, I've been and bought some new reading glasses because my other glasses, they were varifocals, and so I struggled with them. So I went yesterday, got 2 pairs of reading glasses. So I've got one in here in my office, one in the living room. They make such a big difference. So obviously my old prescription was well out of date anyway, and really, yeah, doing well. So I've got to have drops in all the time. So I'll be doing that after this video. What more can I really say? I can see one thing. I think I mentioned it. One thing I did notice: white stuff has now a purple or like a violet tinge to it. Not sure if that's something that'll go away. David, hi guys. I have a fountain pen that can write underwater. It can write other words too. Yeah, awesome. Ricardo and Marilyn Lol and Blonde Scales 1. What? Yeah, that's some word. Marilyn, you can also see through the AdMock M800 and 400. Tony to David, don't give up your day job. And then David, that's probably sound advice, at least until I get on Saturday Night Live. Yeah, definitely. Do you know, I've never seen an episode of Saturday Night Live. They do show it over here. I just don't know what it is. It's just not something that's grabbed me. Now that the tea's finished, I'm on to my raspberry cordial, full of ice to make sure I keep nice and cool. So let's fetch this up here, and we'll go over to my presentation, my lovely PowerPoint, Death by PowerPoint. There we go. So last week's videos. On Monday, it was mainland Chinese pens. So what I tried to do there is, it was one from a number of different manufacturers, are limited to one pen per manufacturer. And as I said earlier, the Jinhao 100 I put on there, I did swap the nibs so I could show that you can change nibs around. I think the most expensive was the P139. I think the cheapest I used was the Jinhao 100. They were just a selection of 5 pens that I've got. Wednesday, we had that first impressions of the Pelikan M1000. I love the pen. I'm still getting used to how soft it is. That's the only thing which is taking me a little bit of time to get used to. Then Friday, that was my inked pens. So they're the pens that are inked up, but not in my EDC for the month. Next week's videos. So tomorrow we've got starter pens. So what I'm doing here is picking out 5 pens for someone who's fairly new to fountain pens. So maybe not necessarily just the first, but the first few pens that they buy, with a selection of 5 pens there, which I would recommend. On Wednesday, I'm doing my first impressions of a Hondian 100, not to be confused with a Jinhao 100, which I've done a few times and said the wrong name for the wrong pen. And then Friday is another first impressions, this time of a notebook. This is an Ikina notebook. It's the in-house brand for a supermarket chain over here called Coles. I've had some Ikina notebooks in the past and was quite happy with them. This one, well, I'll let you see for yourselves. And then on Saturday, I've got the members Zoom call. That should have been yesterday, but obviously with what I had going on, I delayed it. So that will be next week. I will send out details in a 30-second-ish video, plus a post on the YouTube community to members. And if I remember, I'll also try and do it. I think there's a way I can limit posts on Discord to YouTube members as well. If there is, I'll do that as well. So that's coming up on Saturday at 8:30 a.m. Australian Western Standard Time. My books of the week is only the one. It's by Terry Goodkind and it's Siege of Stone. I'm 92% of the way through, and according to my Kobo, I've got 52 minutes left to read. And it was 9 o'clock last night when I got to that, and I thought, no, I'll leave that for tonight. So I'll be getting that finished tonight. Then I'm going to be moving back to Terry Pratchett. I can't remember the name of it. I've already got it because I've got it from the library. Let me just go and check. Oh, no, I don't have that on here. Have I got... No, I don't have Libby. But that, it's going to be next Terry Pratchett. I think it's She Shall Wear Midnight or something like that. Let me just try and get into the iPad because I want the iPad for something else in a minute. There we go. Okay. So that, it's really, I've quite enjoyed this one. There's certainly more fighting in it and more magic in it than the previous one. To me, it's a real faster pace and there's action all the way through, which I often don't see with Terry Goodkind books. They seem to have all the action at the end. Yes, there is a lot of action near the end, which is why I was tempted to carry on reading it. One of the things I don't like about it, there's essentially 4 different viewpoints, and it's swapping between them each chapter. So you don't get 2 or 3 chapters on the same viewpoint. You get one from Nikki, one from Nathan, one from Werner, and one from in fact, there's 5. One from one aggressor and one from a second aggressor. So in that respect, personally, I'd like to see a bit more, 2 or 3 chapters at least of each, but it doesn't matter. It's still enjoyable. So that's my book of the week. Minima, close that. There we go. I'm going to switch over to Mr. iPad now. Where's iPad? So this week, one of the things I have done this week is I've sent my latest version of Penlist, which I've got up here on the iPad screen, over to Apple for review. So they have reviewed and approved the Mac version, so that's now there on Mac OS. But I'm still waiting for them to review the iOS version, which is what I've got on here. So I've got a little bit more, some little fancy bits. I've tried to improve the UI a bit. Big change with this is under the cover. You won't see it. I've changed the way that it handles the data. What that's done though is given me a little bit of boost in it's given me a little bit of a boost in performance. And now my poor brain keeps going dead today. The other thing I've done is here on the reports screen, I've now got some stats. So I've got 37 inked pens. I've got 195 pens in total and 211 bottles of ink. Now, a lot of those are the ink vent inks and the colour vent inks, but still, when I saw that, I thought, oh my Lord, how can I have that many? So that's Penlist. I've just seen a message there, so let me go and pull up Safari again and head on over to the website. I know you're still seeing. Okay, so let's go to Safari. So on Safari, 2 things I'm going to look at here. The first one is the poll for the pens in use. I discovered an issue with this during the week in that it's not been recording any votes. So if you want to go and vote on it, head on over to eves.id.au, there's this thing for pens in use February, and you can vote there for the pen you want to win. I'm going to be recording the wrap-up on Wednesday, so if you want to vote, head on over before Wednesday. Then on Wednesday, I'll take whatever that is there. The reason it's showing 1 vote is because that's what I voted for to test it. At the start of the month, I didn't test it. I went through partway through. This is why I found out it wasn't working. And I said some rude words. The viewer map, looking quite nice. We had an extra few people send me the details. So here we go. So obviously we're getting quite a few over here in the US. We've got, I think there's 1 in Canada. We've got a number there in the UK, and we've got a few here over in Australia. If you want to be included on here, all I need is your location. I do not want a street address. I just need, if you just want to give me the country, that's fine, or country and state, that's fine, or country, state, and your city or town or locality, whichever you're comfortable with. I don't associate any of these with names. So if I just click on any old one, so there's no name associated with it. The only one that's got a name associated with it is me. Everyone else is just blank. So that's down to you. If you want that, either drop something in the chat if you haven't already done so, saying you're happy. Even if you share the details in the chat and you do not say that you're happy for it to be shared on the map, I will not put it on the map. And I know it sounds like I'm being really anal here, but I just think privacy is important. And yes, I'm not going too low a level. Yes, I'm not attaching to names, but I still think you should have the ability to say if you want it on there or not. So that's the map. Right, back to the comments. Tony, the downside of my Tenerife holiday is that I missed out on the deeply discounted Visconti Homo sapiens as it would have been delivered when I was away. Wow, £550. That's good. Are you not able to? I don't know if, like here, if you're going to be away, you can actually get delivered to a temporary post box. Blonde Scales 1, how does your map look? So, yep, I saw that. That's why I jumped over and showed the map. Plain Water, welcome to you. 37 inked pens. I feel better about 18, soon to be 19. Yeah, the reason I have so many inked up is obviously because of the videos. So last week I recorded, I've been doing that. I did the Chinese, over the past month, the Chinese ones, starter ones, intermediate ones, and grail pens. Tomorrow I'm filming 2 top 5s. So that's a lot of the reason. I'm trying to keep it low, but as I said, my main issue I've got is for videos. And I don't like inking a pen up, then emptying out the ink. So that's why they end up going up and up and up. David, that's a great price for a Homo sapiens. Absolutely it is. Blonde Scales 1, I told you last week, inks breed when you're not looking. I tell you, they certainly do. Andreas, has anyone purchased from Pure Pens? I have. They delivered to Australia fine. I bought, actually my Sailor Pro Gear Slim came from Pure Pens, and I've got a number of inks. The main inks I've bought from them are their own brand. Most of them they actually make themselves. I've also got the Chartist collection, which is a collection of 4 inks, and that's made for them by Diamine. Had no issues with shipping. They were very, very fast. Really impressed by them. And I say shipping to Australia at the time I thought was reasonable. I don't think they've got a free shipping limit for international, but yeah, I'd quite happily buy from Pure Pens again. Ricardo, I have. Plain Water, I'm in New York City, happy to be shared. Where's Dad put me pen? All these pens, I can't find one. Let me just add this on. NYC. I know what that means. Mr. Inky Fingers, Soda Fountains, yeah, 195 of them. That was gobsmacked. Tony Bins, yeah, it was Stylo and Stile in Italy. Blonde Scales 1, I think inks are worse about breeding. Tony, yeah, let's put Tenerife on there as well. You're watching it from there, so that'll do. Tenerife. And then Kaz, I've purchased from Pure Pens. Yeah, it's just, what I like about Pure Pens as opposed to Coat Pens. Coat Pens is owned by WH Smiths. Pure Pens is a family-owned business, so you're actually supporting a family. Andreas, I was looking at a Visconti Homo sapiens Dark Age for about 1,003 Aussie dollars, which is the cheapest I've seen it. So when I got mine, it came from Apple Boom, and I managed to get it when it was on sale at Apple Boom. So it ended up being, I think it was about $900. That was a year ago. So, Apple Boom's worth looking, but they haven't had them on sale for quite a while. John, is there any harm in leaving pens inked if they're in regular rotation? Difficult question to ask. Depends on the pen, depends on the ink. Most of my pens, I think the longest I've had one inked was about 3 months. What I do find, some of them, if I leave them too long, the nibs dry out, so I need to prime the feed or dip it in a bit of water to moisten the ink that's in the actual nib, just to get going again. I say it also depends on the ink. If it's like a thicker type, like more viscous ink, you might have more problems. Miss Marilyn Darling might be able to better talk about that. I'm not an ink person, but I mean, there's some pens. Is it the Platinum 377? Yeah, I think it's the Platinum. I might be wrong about that, where they reckon it can be left a year and still write. That ink guy on YouTube, he actually did an experiment where he did that. So the video was a while ago, might have been a year or two ago, but might be worth looking if you're interested in that. And that's that ink guy. Another one really good for inks. So yeah, it depends. There's so much going into it. So best I can say is it depends. Cars free shipping in the UK over £35. John from New York City, also happy to be shared. Thank you, John. So New York City. I found my pen now. I don't know. Can't be trusted with things, me. Andreas, yes, Pure Pens. I'm driving over there when I get home. Yeah, I do like Pure Pens. Say it's a family business. Tony Bins, no. Auto correct strikes yet again. David, I need to watch that market more carefully. Marilyn Darling, do not leave pilot I word in a sack pen. It will eat the sack. Yeah, again, depends what type of pen it is, because I know, again, depends what the material is. Oh, there's just so much. It's like everything. So much goes into it. Miss Marilyn Darling, I review fountain pens, ink, and paper on my channel. Really worth watching if you haven't. Definitely go and subscribe and watch Miss Marilyn Darling's videos. Really interesting. I enjoy watching them. And then Marilyn's put there, that's the link to an ink guy. Plain water. Brian Anderson has said the same as Miss Marilyn Darling about not leaving pilot I words in a sack pen. And John, thanks to MMD, fascinating. Let's refresh. Tony, I think it's down to whether there is a phenol in the mix. Now we're getting into science. K. Rye, welcome to you. Thanks for the recommendation for Pure Pens. I like supporting family businesses. Yeah, I do as well where possible. I say Cult Pens have some brilliant prices, and the only thing is it's owned by WH Smiths. When I first started buying from them, I thought that it was an independent company, but apparently it was, and they sold, I don't know how long ago, a few years ago, I think, out to WH Smiths. So they've got like the big buying power there from that company. Marilyn, tomorrow I'm starting a new calligraphy class, The Art of Cursive Writing. So come and check it out. Yeah, I've tried looking at calligraphy a few times. I just don't have the patience. That's why I've gone. Where is it? It's in the clean out pot. That Jinhao 100. That's why I'm trying out the different nibs to see if I can essentially get that cursive style. Oh, not cursive style. Calligraphy style, but cheating by using the nib rather than having to spend the time to learn to do it. When I was at school in the UK, they didn't really teach cursive. So it's not something we were ever taught. The nearest we got that it was appropriately named joined up writing. It wasn't cursive, but it was, again, to do the similar thing, to get faster writing, to get better flow. And you may notice a lot of my handwriting is using essentially that joined up. So it's like halfway between cursive and print. But yeah, I'm just too lazy. Blonde Scales 1. I actually bought a bottle of Schaefer ink for my balance. Thought it might be good to get an ink of the same brand for my vintage pen. Yeah, again, some people say if you use the same inks from the same manufacturer, you know, and all the pens that you buy, I know, is it Pilot or Platinum? No, it must be Pilot, where they recommend using Pilot inks. I don't, but that's just my personal choice. So that's all the comments. So I'll do my wrap up and then I'll come back and look if there's any more. So thank you all for your time today. I absolutely love these. We're getting better. We're just over an hour today. Please hit the thumbs up button every time you like, every time you comment. Just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to like. I know I keep mentioning it, but it's amazing the difference that they make. Range Gone Dead. Membership is available. If you're able to help support the channel, anything really is appreciated. I do have a membership on there. So members, they get early access to videos. So the video going out on Monday, they've had access to since yesterday. They get a weekly video on a Saturday, which is my pens for the week video. They also get once a month a Zoom call and a Ask Me Anything style video. So there is extra stuff there for members, and it's something I want to try and increase as I'm going along, but it's, again, trying to make sure I've got the right time to do something that's interesting before I do it. So if you're able to help, very much appreciated. We'll head back over. Andreas. I'll be there. I've got some leave coming up and was planning to practice my writing. Tony, I use Twink or Waterman's for my vintage pens. Kaz, good night all. Marilyn, thank you, Gary. Bye, everyone. See you all next week. Ricardo, gents and ladies, have a great week. David, blessings until next time. God be with you. We've got Blonde Skills 1. Have a great week all. Marcy Me, good everything. Blonde Skills 1, see some of you on the Zoom call. Marcy Me, evening all. Jake, peace and joyous writing to you all. I love that, peace and joyous writing. Absolutely awesome thought, that. Right, that's it. Andreas, thank you, Gary. Take care all. Let's do one more refresh. So I will leave these comments open as the outro plays. Good morning, good day. All thanks, Gary, and all for the great video and session. And one more refresh. There we go. So thank you all, and I'll talk to you again soon.